going to sound like a grand statement, but I think I figured out the connection that this world has with our afterlife. Our dreams hold clues to helping us understand the afterlife, and our dreams are a connection to the afterlife, because this is a time when our consciousness is not experiencing the physical world, a time when our consciousness is able to freely float into infinity, into infinite imagination. The thing that we must note about dreams is that dreams are based off of your memories, right? Dreams need memories to exist and to function, and they're basically your memories times infinity, times infinite possibilities that could be based off of your memories. You know, in the Baha'i faith, the religion I was raised, it says that to try to understand what the afterlife is naive, that there's no way we could possibly fathom it. But it does liken the afterlife to be similar to the world that we are in when we are dreaming. That it's almost like this realm of infinite manifestation, that you think a thought and it wills it, right? So this is very interesting to think about, that when we dream, it's like our consciousness is able to explore, it's able to just have infinite possibilities. And the question that I always pose to any atheist that says, oh, I don't believe in God because I can't see it, I can't observe that there's a God or an afterlife, is, well, how can you scientifically prove the existence of your memories? A witness in court can testify that they witnessed something, but there's no way to definitively prove that that memory exists inside somebody's brain. You can't weigh it, you can't measure it, but the memory can weigh you down. It can weigh you down emotionally. And even though thoughts and feelings don't weigh anything, don't take up matter or space, it's like they take some kind of emotional weight, some kind of weight on a spiritual plane. But maybe memories hold weight on the spiritual plane. Maybe what takes up space and what is matter and holds weight in the spiritual planes are memories, feelings, spiritual qualities, thoughts, right? It's the lands of the spirit. So I wonder if our souls exist simultaneously in this world and in the next. That if in the next world they're kind of like in an incubation phase, like this incubator. So let's just talk about, the science of dimensions, right? And what the first dimension is just a straight line. Or you could say the first dimension is time. Because really, the theory of absolute zero is that existence needs time to exist, because as matter spreads out through the universe and as all the stars burn up all their hydrogen, there's this theory of absolute zero that once all of the matter in the universe becomes black holes and all the stars burn out and there's no movement, once there's no movement in space of any matter, then there's nothing, because existence requires entropy to exist. It requires movement for it to exist. So if the first dimension is time, well, zero dimension is time. First dimension is a straight line, right? Going to infinity in either direction, infinitely positive, infinitely negative. And then the next dimension, what's called the second dimension, you multiply infinity by infinity, and now you have a plane that's going into infinity in four directions. And then you multiply that by infinity again. Now you have three-dimensional space going into infinity. You have the vacuum of space, and you put matter in it, and all of the scientific principles that is matter, and you have our existence and the magic that is our existence. All of this is happening so that we can have this experience. Every single previous dimension is needed for the current dimension to exist. So the current dimension is built off of all of the previous dimensions, right? We we can only see in the dimension that is lower than us, right? So we actually see in the second dimension, right? Our retinas interpret everything in this third dimension in the second dimension, in our eyes, right? And then our brain has depth perception, is able to transfer that that sensation of the visual representation on our retinas. It transfers that into understanding our space in 3 dimensions. But each dimension is built on the previous dimensions. It needs it all to exist, you know. And same is true for the different orders of life in our reality. That you know, the vegetable world, the vegetable kingdom understands the mineral kingdom, because the vegetable kingdom needs to know how to create its own life by manipulating the minerals that it soaks up through the soil and the water. The animal kingdom understands the vegetable kingdom, but the vegetable kingdom does not understand the animal kingdom. It cannot really perceive the animal kingdom. It perceives the mineral kingdom and the things that are in the earth and the soil. Then the human kingdom, because we have this heightened sense of intelligence, the ability to have abstract thought and to perceive a plan, to see cause and effect and things that could happen in the future, and to perceive a higher power and a creator that created all of this, some kind of greater purpose, and to ponder what we're pondering at this moment, the afterlife. Us as in the human kingdom, we are a step above the animal kingdom. So I propose this, that everything that we are experiencing right now, all of the consciousness that we are creating, is what is necessary for the afterlife and the planes of reality beyond the afterlife to exist, right? That we are creating the painting, the imagery, right? That the collective consciousness that is all of these souls, all of these feelings, all of these memories and consciousnesses, right, are going to create together in the afterlife. And think about all of the intelligent life that can perceive a creator that exists in other galaxies and other solar systems. You know, when there's intelligent life, think about all the alien life that is also coming together to create this infinite imagination of consciousness that creates the afterlife. So in the Baha'i writings, it basically says that when we die, we go to a place where we can manifest anything, where our imaginations become everything. So it also states in the Baha'i writings that this life is like a baby in the womb. The baby's growing fingers, eyes, nose, mouth, all these things that it doesn't understand what they will be used for in the afterlife. Or sorry, in the birth life. Once the baby is born, it doesn't know why it created those things in the womb. It doesn't even need those things in the womb. However, when the baby is born, it becomes very evident why it created those things. And this is true for our spiritual qualities that we're creating here, our consciousness. And so, you know, this is just kind of basing off of things that I read from the Baha'i writings, that when we die, basically our ability to fly up into higher realms, higher planes of existence, will be based on how well we did here in growing our spiritual qualities. That, you know, we are growing these spiritual qualities to be used in the next world. And so it's very important that we focus on spirituality here, and we, you know, focus on developing our virtues, focus on being caring, loving individuals, and we try to clean off the dirt and the sullied, you know, nature on our spiritual compass. Like, we are trying to clean and have purity in our spiritual compass, because in the end, what our goal is to try to know our Creator, right? Trying to understand, why did you create us, and to know our Creator. And I think that, you know, God basically wants to have this amazing ultimate party at the top of this, you know, these planes of existence, where all the best people are invited, the most loving beings, you know, because really that's what makes a party great, is that you have great people that love each other and care about each other and that are really nice and sweet. So, you know, going, you know, a lot of this is focused on the Baha'i writings, but it says in the Baha'i writings that, when we die, it's like we will get everything that we want because we can manifest with like as if you're in a dream. Like if you're lucid dreaming, you can just manifest that you're flying. You can manifest, that you're having sex or you're in an orgy, right? You can manifest whatever you want in your dream. Your consciousness is freely floating, and time doesn't really exist in the dream world. And that's another thing that it says in the Baha'i writings, is that time does not exist in the same way that it exists in this world. So it's almost like when we die, we will be able to see in the fourth dimension, right? We will be able to see all of time that's ever existed going into infinity, and we will be able to know and understand everything that is in this world. We will be seeing it from above. So we will be able to have everything that we want in a dream. But here's the thing, is that if we get everything that we want, right, your vices will become your prison. This is what it says in the Baha'i writings, right? Your vices will cause you to slither at the depths with the snakes. So it's like if you're a drug addict that never overcame your addiction, or you're a sex addict, that just cheated on everybody and, abused people, well, you'll be able to have your infinite orgy. You'll be able to have your infinite drugs, but that will be your prison. That will be what weighs you down into this lower level. And yes, you'll be able to have whatever you want, but you won't be able to ascend to these higher levels. Say you want to bring your friend that has a sex addiction up to these higher levels. You bring your friend up there, and they're having their party in a higher plane, and your friend just keeps on whipping out his dick and having these like orgy fantasies, and it's going to cramp everybody's style. They're going to be like, yo, you need to put him back down to the lower plane because he's like ruining our vibe up here, in this higher plane. So the whole point about this reality is that you are training your love centers. You are training your kindness, your pleasure centers to find the most enjoyment and the most pleasure in life out of being loving and caring towards other people. You're training what makes you happy to be service and just being a good, kind, pure, radiant heart. And so when you find enjoyment through that, you're able to ascend to these higher levels. And the Baha'i faith says that there's 5 planes of existence beyond this one. You're able to ascend to these higher planes because you're able to create this reciprocating pleasure effect with all the other souls that exist. So, it's kind of interesting. Like, it's like, why does this exist? Why is there so much pain? Why is there suffering? And it's almost like this exists because there's no way else for everything else to exist. So just like how the fourth dimension can't exist without the existence of the third dimension, the second dimension, the previous dimensions, the afterlife, the dimension above this one, can't exist without this dimension. Just like how dreams can't exist without your memories, right? We are basically creating the imagery, the thoughts, the memories, the emotions, the spiritual qualities, the virtues, all of these ethereal spiritual qualities. We are creating them here in this world as we generate our consciousness through this human experience, through this alien experience, because the next reality is created by this infinite consciousness, this collective consciousness that creates an infinite imagination that is basically every single intelligent life form that's ever existed in the world, in the universe. Every alien life form in distant galaxies that's ever believed that there was a higher power creates and manifests the fabric of the existence of the next reality with its imaginations. And those imaginations are based off of the memories and the emotions, the spiritual qualities, the virtues. So the afterlife is the realm of infinite consciousness, the realm of the collective consciousness fabricating infinite imagination. And so without all of these individual unique consciousnesses that experienced the fourth dimension and this physical reality created as selfish animals trying to understand why they were created. Without that, there would be nothing. Because it needs the previous dimensions. The next dimension needs this dimension to exist. So keep in mind that dreams really can't function without memories. Your dreams are based off of the memories that you've experienced, right? As a small child, you only have dreams based off of what you know as a child. Things can be different and things can, transcend those memories, but your dreams are based off of what you know. It's very difficult to have a dream about a technology that doesn't exist yet. That this creates the opportunity for our souls to embark on this journey, to have this experience of having free choice. And through having free choice, we are able to choose. We are beyond like animals with simple desires of eating, sleeping, and reproducing, right? We are able to see that there's a greater purpose to life. We are able to envision that there's a creator that created us and have the desire to know that creator, right? And so this sends us on a journey of free choice beyond animalistic instincts, where we're able to say, you know what, even though it's better for me right now to be selfish and to steal from this person, I'm actually going to be kind and generous and not steal, and I'm going to give to this person because I know that a community that is reciprocating love and kindness is going to be a happy community altogether, and a community that is cheating and stealing from each other, we're all going to be suffering that much more so. Time is infinite. I've learned that why sex is sacred is because this is the ultimate expression of creation that humans can have. We have the ability, we're creating a potential when we have sex with somebody to create another soul, right? And through that potential, that's where we get the ultimate pleasure from. And why did God create all of this? God created all of this because it feels good to create, right? So the Big Bang could have been the ultimate orgasm, the ultimate ejaculation. Why did God create all of this? That's the ultimate question. Why did God, who is all-seeing, all-knowing, create us as very ignorant beings that don't have any idea of what's going on, that are sacrificing our virgin daughters to appease the gods when our crops fail? Well, because for God to fully appreciate and experience its own creation, it has to see it through the eyes of the innocent. Because you can't fully appreciate a movie unless you see it for the first time without knowing what's going to happen. If somebody tells you what the end of the movie is going to be, you won't be able to fully appreciate it. So that's why we're experiencing this time and this reality from a standpoint of not knowing what's going to happen, what's going to come. This is how we can have a connection with and be a part of this infinite consciousness that is God. It's basically like God is creating us so that it can create more of itself. Just like the chemical reaction of orgasms. Just like the chemical reaction of organisms. Life is basically just a complex chemical reaction. And the chemical reaction of life is to try to create more of itself, to align the matter that is in its reality, to align those particles to create more of its own being. The afterlife and everything, it needs this reality to build itself. Like everything, all the pain, all the suffering, like all of this is needed so that we can have this experience, so that we can build this consciousness. And all of the future realms are based off of this collective consciousness. People speak about the collective consciousness, and all of the future realms are created by this infinite imagination that is the collective consciousness. One thing I will also say that it says in the Baha'i Faith is it's very important to pray for people that have passed away that we love, because this is how their souls can continue to progress in the next reality. So the reason why this physical world is such a beautiful gift and why it's so important is because this is our chance to grow our spirit body. Like how the baby is growing in the womb, we grow the spiritual qualities that we become when we die. And when we die, you become your thoughts, you become your consciousness. So there's no way to lie or cheat people. People that learn to get by and to, get ahead in this life by cheating and lying, well, they will be handicapped in the next world because that won't be able to be used to benefit them. People will see their thoughts. So it's just very interesting that, that's it. This is it. Once you die, the only other way for your soul to really progress, it's very difficult, is for people in this world to pray for the progress of your soul. So I hope you found this discussion interesting. And if there's anybody that wants to, come on my podcast and discuss issues like this, I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, you are the beautiful creation that God, higher power, made because God loves you for you. Nothing more, nothing less. You are a beautiful gift to this world. So I want you to take the gift that is you and spread it all across the world. Remember, there's no mistakes, no boo-boos, no mess-ups. You are perfect just the way you are. So thank you.